One thing that I do want to point out in this manual starting on page 55 is the hydraulic system. All right, so I'm back down here in the garage and you can see I have my assortment of tools here. So there's a couple of ways you can take this off. It wants to go. There we go.
If you like this content, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.
Not in this garage today. And not just outside either. But hey everybody, welcome back to Grit and Grind. So I had a subscriber of the channel reach out to me on one of the videos I did last about servicing the 2550 Bandit stump grinder and said, hey, could you do a video on the hydraulic filter replacement? And I said I would. Now, it's kind of nice out here. It's the beginning of March. As you can see, the snow that we piled up is really all that's left, but we're back down to grass, except for where we push snow. And I want to get this out just so he has something to reference. I am not actually ready to replace mine, but I'll show you what you need to do. And first things first, this is the first time that I've been in this garage in probably 2 months because of all of the snow that we've had, and my truck was mostly blocking down here, including the trailer. So I haven't come down here in a bit. But as you can see, when we put this machine in here in fall, it's still here. It is still a little dirty, so I'm going to need to clean that up. That's going to be another video because he also requested that. Today's topic, though, is going to be how to service the hydraulic filter on the Bandit 2550. And it's really easy. I'll show you how to get to it. It's actually right here. It's underneath this. So if you remember, this is a 2023 Bandit 2550 four-wheel drive. It's remote control, but this is standard on all the 2550 units that I'm aware of. There's not another filter in here that needs to be replaced. So when you first get these machines, you have to replace them at 50 hours. And then I think again at 400 hours. But I'm going to pull open that manual and check that for sure because it's been a minute since I referenced it. So I am not ready to replace this yet, but I do want to show you how to replace this and how to get this cap off. You just have to get this plastic cap off. And it's not that big of a deal, but if you're not used to messing with hydraulics or if you've never done it on this machine, I could understand why you'd be a little hesitant when you look at this, just being a square cap and it's plastic. So you want to make sure that you don't mar it up that bad. You can see I do have a little bit of marks in here from when I took it off before, but there's a couple of ways you can get this off pretty easily. So I'll show you that. And let me double check the manual. Let's see how many hours you're supposed to replace this. So unless you take it out, which you can use this for other storage, I do not. I keep all the things that I need in my truck. You can actually take this off or unclip it, and it's hard to do one-handed, but there we go. Operator's manual. So let me find the page for this and I'll get back to you and we'll double check when you're supposed to replace these. One thing that I do want to point out in this manual starting on page 55 is the hydraulic system. So it actually gives you, of course, the hydraulic fluid requirements, but another nice thing is the pressure relief settings for all of your pumps. So you just have to come in here, look. So I don't have a 2550 with manual control valves. I have with remote control valves, and we are running the 49 horse Kubota diesel. So at 2700 RPMs, this is what your cutter wheel RPMs, gallons per minute, the PSI that you should be in. And there's a lot of other stuff in here too. which are really good, and it breaks down depending on what machine you have, such as the track, how to check your hydraulic pressure, which is really important. I don't think I'm ever going to do a video on how to check the hydraulic pump pressures on this machine. There's 3 pumps. You have your cutter head, your main pump, and there's one more to check on here, but I'd have to double check on that. But the reason I won't is because Bandit online has a really good tutorial video on how to check the pump pressures. And with this machine, if you bought it brand new like I did, and that's not a brag, that's just how it came for me, they actually give you the testing gauges for this so you can check your pressures. And you definitely want to check them every now and again. But the reason you got here is going to be for the filter. So let me find the information on when you're supposed to change that, and I'll bring you back in a second. All right, so in this manual, the maintenance starts on page 38. We are on page 43 right now, and there's a couple things here. So the 3-month checklist. Replace hydraulic filter after first 10 hours, then quarterly or every 400 hours. So I replaced mine earlier. I don't need one just this second, but I am going to show you how to get to this and how to replace it. So that's what it says to go by directly from the manual. And then also the suction screens annually or every 2,000 hours, but right now we're just concerned with the filter in here. So you're probably asking yourself at this point, well, how do you remove this? I am going to show you, and we need some tools to do that. All right, so we are back up into the main garage. Come over here to our handy dandy toolbox. So there's a couple things I'm going to grab. Channel locks. Screwdriver. So I'm going to take 2 screwdrivers just in case. And the main thing I am looking for, crescent wrench. Big crescent wrench. I'm hoping this one is going to be big enough. But yeah, so crescent wrench, screwdrivers, channel locks. And really, you don't need all of these, but I'm going to show you a couple different ways you can get this off, typically. So let's get back down to the garage. All right, so I'm back down here in the garage, and you can see I have my assortment of tools here. So there's a couple of ways you can take this off. One, with a screwdriver, you can actually get in here and turn it the right way, but unfortunately, both of these are too big. I guessed on the size because it's been a while, but I could probably sneak that one in there just like that, and I could pry this over that way. You can also take a crescent wrench, goes on there just like so, and you could twist it off. Or you also have handy dandy channel locks. Same thing, just spread them out. And then turn ever so slightly. It doesn't take that much effort. Yeah, wants a little more than that. But it doesn't take that much effort to turn this off. And then you could just pull this cap off just like so. And again, you just want to be careful because this is plastic, and also there's going to be some hydraulic oil pressure in here, even if this has been sitting for a while. So when I popped this cap off, it was coming up right to the edge, so I just let it kind of flow down for a second. That spring is attached. I don't know if it comes off. It probably would if you pulled it hard enough, but you don't want to do that. So then, what you're going to do is set that to the side. And this hand's dirty, so with a clean hand, you would just wiggle this filter, pull it right out. There's a screen in here. Here's the hydraulic filter. I'm going to probably have to replace this soon, but not until a little bit into the start of the season. Now, there's a couple different sizes, so I'm going to put up the exact one of my machine here. There's a couple sizes you can get, so you definitely want to consult your dealer and bring this in with you to make sure that they get you the right one. But when you have the right filter.
All right, guys, Future Mike here. So this is the paperwork from when I first bought the filter from my local dealer. As you can see, I made some notes here. So the number that you're seeing is the correct filter number, but without the M is the Bandit part number. That was just the cross-reference to what my dealer could get. And admittedly, they had some trouble the first time finding me the correct filter. However, that was not their fault. There's a couple of filters that Bandit puts into here, and I didn't bring that one in with me, so shame on me. I had to go back and get a second filter, but they were really good about it, exchanged it for me, got the right one. So make sure you bring the filter with you when you go to your dealer or wherever you get it from. And this is going to be for the long, skinny filter. They have another one, as far as I'm aware, just the other one, but they might have more, that is a little bit shorter and also a little bit bigger in diameter.
In here, even if this has been sitting for a while. So when I popped this cap off, it was coming up right to the edge, so I just let it kind of flow down for a second. That spring is attached. I don't know if it comes off. It probably would if you pulled it hard enough, but you don't want to do that. So then, what we're going to do is set that to the side. And this hand's dirty, so with a clean hand, you would just wiggle this filter, pull it right out. There's a screen in here. Here's the hydraulic filter. I'm going to probably have to replace this soon, but not until a little bit into the start of the season. Now, there's a couple different sizes, so I'm going to put up the exact one of my machine here. There's a couple sizes you can get, so you definitely want to consult your dealer and bring this in with you to make sure that they get you the right one. But when you have the right filter, just seat that back down on the plastic screen, set that down in there. Make sure it's seated nice and good. And then you would put this cap back on. I'm covered in grease right this second, so put this cap back on like so. Push down, twist down, apply even pressure like that. Twist it back on. And then you won't get it perfectly on by hand. You can get it pretty close. So what you're going to want to do at this point is take any of your tools that you had. Probably even get it with the screwdriver at this point, just because of the way it's on. And you could use that just to twist like so. That's probably the best I'm going to get from that. Let me clean these off and then I'll finish tightening with the channel locks. Okay, I'm back. Cleaned off my hands. I'm going to wipe this up a little bit because there's a little bit of hydraulic oil residue on here. And really important that you make sure the inside of your cap and surface is clean when you go to reinstall this, because you don't want any debris to get into your hydraulic system and mess up your pumps. So we're just going to go ahead, give this a final tighten, just like that. She's ready to go. Wipe this off one more time. So that's how you replace that. Right now I'm going to throw up on the screen the part number for that particular filter.
Here it is again, and this came from my local New Holland Bandit dealer, Niagara Frontier Equipment in Lockport, New York. I'll leave a link in the description below. Check them out if you need parts, sales, service, or equipment. They're a great local dealer, and I enjoy working with them.
All right, so thanks to a subscriber, I was able to put this up for you. I hope you found it helpful. Let me know what other things you guys want to see. I know he also requested to do a washing video, so how I wash this machine to try and keep it clean, which I did a bad job of doing when I put it away for winter. So I do need to clean that, but it's a little bit too cold outside yet, unfortunately, for doing any of that. I don't like to wash in cold weather and then have, icicles coming. It is nicer than it's been, but it's still not quite there yet. So hope you found this super helpful. Let me know what other kind of content you guys want to see. I like making stuff that you guys enjoy. If you think anyone else would like it, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Let others know. Keep pushing it out. Tell me what you want to see. I'll make as much content as I possibly can for you guys. I'm going to get back to more stump grinding content. We're almost ready for the season, but we're not quite there yet. And yeah, If you like this video, like, comment, share, and subscribe for more content.